Hey Taurus, I'm Alexander Creek. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an astrologer and intuitive. Welcome to those of you listening to the audio version of this podcast. And in this video, you're going to be listening to me, hopefully. We're going to be talking about the astrology forecast for the month of June 2024 for the sign of Taurus. So remember to like, subscribe, comment below if it's hitting for you, and make sure that you click on for notifications so that you do not miss a video. So we have a lot of Gemini energy happening, especially in this first half of the month. It's really, really busy feeling. And it really kind of began May 25th of last month, when Jupiter, that planet of expansion, wisdom, opportunity, moved into Gemini, where it's going to be there for a little over a year. And that's a really, really big energy shift. And because where Jupiter, is transiting through the sky, and where it is kind of moving through in your birth chart, means that there is going to be more focus and emphasis on that part of your chart. So, that is bringing some expansion to that area of your life, some opportunities, and really kind of just expanding the hell out of that part of your chart. What exactly it does kind of depends on your unique birth chart, but if we know your rising sign, we're going to be talking about the life area that's kind of you know again expanding for you. So um I want to say, in general, with Jupiter and Gemini is very busy energy. Feels like it's a lot more active than Jupiter in Taurus, right? And Gemini is all about the mind. So there's going to be an emphasis for everyone on learning, studying, engaging the mind. And also just there's a very curious energy to Gemini. It is an air sign, so it's connected to the mind anyway. Gemini is actually the sign ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication and messages. This is very excitable, mentally stimulating, social energy. We could be looking at things like, I want to do this thing and learn this thing over here, but I also want to take this class and take this trip over here. And I also want to do this thing. That's very Gemini energy. I will say with Jupiter and Gemini, it's going to be making squares to Saturn the whole time that it is in Gemini. Saturn wants structure. It wants to contain things. It wants you to kind of pick a focus. And so I would lean into that energy. This is going to be an energy where I think too many points of focus is going to lead to some sort of wasted effort and, wasted energy. So it's okay to indulge your curiosity and kind of be spontaneous with this energy. But I would also say maybe pick a few focuses with this energy and kind of stick to it with this transit. For you, Jupiter is actually going to be going into your house of money. It's going to be going into your second house, which is your cash, your money, your income, your resources, and also your talents and skills that can help sort of support you, support you in this life, essentially. So, with Jupiter in this part of your chart for the next until June 2025, this is going to be a time when maybe like the things that you've been developing and working on can actually turn into some sort of sustained income for you, or that you may introduce some sort of multiple income streams coming in. This could be a boost in pay. This could be some kind of like promotion or raise or something connected to that, or simply more luck and opportunity as it comes to your money and your resources. And this is going to be resources that you directly pull in and that you earn. So think your paycheck, essentially, or really, kind of introducing some sort of, some other sources of income into this part of your chart. I would say part of this could be psychological too, because second house can be your values and your worth, essentially. So this could sort of help you understand what exactly you have to offer, and that could actually turn into income. And again, it's going to be here for a year. So if you are not seeing that kind of improvement yet, give it some time. And it would also depend on the sort of condition of your personal birth chart as well. But Jupiter going into this part of your chart, I really do feel like this is going to be some sort of opportunities, connected to income. I will say, watch your spending though. Jupiter can be a very optimistic energy, and in Gemini, it can sometimes, again, waste its resources. So I would just say, indulge yourself, treat yourself, but also keep an eye on things, just because Jupiter connected to Saturn right now and in Gemini it can kind of spell like, oh, I made money, but I also spent it all. So just keep an eye on that energy. So we also have our new moon of the month occurring on June 6th. This new moon is going to be in Gemini because we are in Gemini season right now. And, a new moon is connected to a new opportunity and a new lunar cycle. This is a very busy feeling energy. There's a lot of planets in Gemini at the time of this new moon. And also with Jupiter here, it's like, it's again, we're really kind of kicking off this sort of big energy shift. And with this new moon in Gemini, there is this need to talk, to communicate, to explore new information, to indulge your curiosity, and so it does feel like a very kind of busy, excitable kind of energy. For you, it may actually have to do with things connected to income, money, and resources, because this could be where maybe some of that new Jupiter energy comes in with this new moon, because it is this new opportunity, this new lunar cycle is happening in that second house of your chart. So, think new things connected to maybe kind of launching something or launching something that's going to bring you income, or having a conversation around like boosting your pay, or, because it's Gemini, this is multiple things. So it could be that you have your job over here, but you decide to sort of do something freelance or side hustle, or start developing like a skill or talent at this time that you can then monetize later. So that's kind of what's happening with this new moon. I will say this new moon does make some pretty exact squares to Saturn. And Saturn is in your 11th house right now. So it could be that since March 2023, you have been maybe more focused on what exactly your goals and hopes and wishes for the future are, like what you are wanting to manifest. Or perhaps there's the 11th house of your chart is also like your friends, your colleagues, people that you have sort of like-minded sort of ideals with. So it could be that you've been sort of taking on more responsibility in those areas, or that maybe even you've been like trimming down your friend groups also too here. So I would say with this new moon energy, you're going to want to make sure that your goals are aligned essentially to this kind of money stuff that's sort of been happening for you. And I would just say make sure that you have some focus and that you aren't spreading yourself too thin. There is also some stuff with relationships around this new moon as well, because Venus is in Gemini and will be squaring Saturn pretty much at that same degree as well. So there could be some sort of themes around commitment, or, commitment, or is this relationship worth it, or having to work on relationships, or experiencing some sort of responsibility toward our relationships and our agreements with others at this time. So again, there's this really kind of busy feeling Gemini energy, especially in your money sector, but it's making some interesting kind of aspects and squares to the part of your chart that rules friends, colleagues, and also your hopes and wishes for the future. So you may see kind of a conflict of energy, or simply of having to sort of focus your efforts essentially with this energy. So we also have Mars, the planet of action, asserting yourself, how you focus your energy, how you get shit done, how you tackle your to-do list. That is moving from fiery, independent, just do it Aries to more conservative Taurus. That is changing. That would be moving into your sign essentially from June 9th through July 20th. Now, when Mars moves into your sign, there could be a couple things going on here. Number one, Mars is sort of like your energy and your motivation. You frankly just might be more like connected to like, let's just get it done, essentially, right? Like Mars moving into your sign could just make you a little bit more feisty, a little bit more assertive, a little bit more aggressive about tackling your goals, about not wanting people in your way. This is a little bit more impatient kind of energy. And this could also be that you simply feel like you have more physical energy, like you have the ability to kind of get up and go and get shit done, essentially, with Mars moving into your first house. I will say with sometimes it depends on the chart. It depends on the person. Sometimes Mars can be inflammation. or just wanting to, it's like I feel like you're going to have more energy available to you. This could also like symbolize too that you might be a little bit more sort of prone to conflict during this time, essentially too. Or and I would watch kind of physical body stuff, because first house is health and physical body. So like this could be an energy where you're like, I'm wanting to like push it at the gym. I'm wanting to get going. Let's go. But I would make sure that you are also listening to your body, because this can sort of inflame things connected to sort of physical body health. So also kind of watch, don't push yourself too much if you are noticing like, oh, there's like a little flare up of, of something connected to this. But I do just feel like you're going to be more motivated to sort of take action on things, even if Mars and Taurus itself is a little bit more conservative. Mars and Taurus is also very productive and very focused on, like Taurus is very focused on its security, its money. Like, what's my paycheck going to be at the end of the week? So I know I can like relax, so that I know I can like relax and chill out. So I would say boost in energy, just kind of watch physical body stuff, however, from June 9th through July 20th. I did want to to let you guys know too, I'm starting to teach astrology. So I am going to be teaching about Venus in your birth chart. Venus, the planet of pleasure, of art, of relationships, what you like in relationships, what you're attracted to, what delights you, what excites you, what life areas she manifests in your chart, and kind of just diving into that a little bit more beyond kind of what you read online, and how to kind of synthesize everything together. We're going to be looking at celebrity examples, and also I'll be doing chart readings for people in my workshop, kind of depending on how time allows, to kind of show you how it all works together. So the goal of this is to learn astrology in like little bites, little digestible little bites, so that you can look at your birth chart and understand it better, and as well as kind of start to learn to read other people's birth charts as well. So that workshop is on June 12th. It's on a Wednesday. It's on Mercury's day. At 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. If you don't make the workshop, it will be sent to you as a recording. It's on Zoom, so you can do it from anywhere. The link to do so is in the comments below. So speaking of Venus, Venus, that planet of love and relationships and pleasure, will be moving from Gemini, where she's very busy, very curious, very like exploring her options, and she will be moving into Cancer on June 17th through July 11th. So Venus in Cancer is very, Cancer is a water sign ruled by the moon, and the moon is home and family and your tribe and your connections. So Venus in Cancer is more focused on nurturing and focused on her emotional security, as well as like meaningful, significant connections with others. Like, this is a Venus that likes quality time. So for you, Venus will be actually moving into your third house. So, there is this kind of, really kind of more heart-centered sort of Venus action going on, but it's actually in your third house of communication. So this might actually be a good time from June 17th through July 11th. Anything connected to the mind, to learning, communication, this could be a time where you might find pleasure or delight in taking a class and learning something new. Perhaps like, because Venus is about connection and relationships, this could be, like romance could be found, pleasure could be found in simply striking up a conversation with like your barista or people at your coffee shop or people in your neighborhood. This could help to smooth out or bring opportunities with siblings. If there's been any conflicts there, this is kind of iron that out. And this could also be if you are traveling, if you're going to take like, and this would be kind of like a shorter trip, over a day or a few days. Venus here could simply say like, hey, this might be the time that things go well, during travel, or that you might find some delight in sort of in travel kinds of things. So that's going to be Venus in that part of your chart from June 17th through July 11th. I'm also going to mention that part of your chart is daily rituals. That time it might reinvigorate if you're doing like a daily card pull, a daily sort of meditation, or anything where you are connecting daily to something, maybe where you're doing some sort of divination, or connecting to the universe in some way. We also have, so we have that brings us to the full moon of this month. The full moon will be in Capricorn on June 22nd. This full moon's interesting because we have two full moons in Capricorn back to back. And this one actually takes place at 1 degree. So it symbolizes some kind of beginning to a story, even though full moons represent completion, things coming to an end, things coming to fulfillment, right? Things like manifesting around a full moon, awareness or news or some kind of event. And then that second one is going to be at 29 degrees. So right at the end of Cancer represents like that to me represents more of an ending. So like this full moon may kind of bring some sort of story up, and then that next full moon that we have next month is going to be about like resolving that story somehow. For you, this full moon will actually be in your ninth house, so this is going to be a completion or something coming to your awareness or something being revealed or illuminated, connecting to your higher education, your higher mind, your maybe there is something connected to completing a course or taking a course at this time, something connected to education or even your spirituality, because ninth house is spirituality, higher mind, your philosophy and belief. So this is sort of like the big picture. So there's this sort of ongoing story around expanding the mind, spirituality, meditation, or it could be something connected to travel as well, or something connected to like another culture, another land, or that's connected to that. It's connected to something that feels like a faraway place or other culture. This could also be a legal thing as well. This could also, I would say, in small cases, it may be a legal matter. This could also have something to do with like communication or broadcasting as well. So there's going to be something going on with those themes. Also, Saturn will be stationing retrograde, and it's important. Why I say that is because Saturn is the planet that rules Capricorn. So Saturn is this planet of like structure, mastery, lessons, things that are hard but are worth it, right? So when Saturn goes retrograde, it's going to go retrograde a week after this full moon. So there are two things that happen when a planet retrogrades. Number one, it tends to pull focus when it goes retrograde, meaning the themes that planet represents and kind of where it's moving in your chart is going to be it's going to be more highlighted. You're just going to simply notice those things more. So because Saturn rules Capricorn and it would rule your ninth house. So you may simply really be noticing like this pull toward like maybe reviewing or reassessing your spirituality, your beliefs, things connected to education, maybe having to go back and go over something and be like, do I really believe that anymore? Or really just really feeling called to that. Also, Saturn will be retrograding in your, in that 11th house. So it could be things connected again to your goals, what you're wanting to manifest, or colleagues or friends, or like, these sort of groups that you consider to be a part of, or even your online social media, or even like online social media communities. You may be thinking about like, do I want to be a part of these anymore? Or they simply may take up some more focus. With this full moon, there are also themes about achieving, about maybe some material security or accomplishing things, because this full moon is in that Earth sign, connected to sort of physicality and about like what we are achieving. So there could be themes around that as well. So that's it. So that's the month of June, highlighted in about 20 minutes here. So let me know maybe your rising sign or your big three, your rising sign, your sun, and your moon, and kind of maybe let me know kind of what you're feeling for this month or what's been going on with you, or maybe how it resonates with you or what you're looking forward to. And if you are listening to the audio version and don't want to be on YouTube, you can email me as well. Kind of your thoughts or sort of what's going on with you. I always like to hear from listeners. So we will see you next time, and happy June astrology. Bye, Taurus.